All right, let's try this again. Welcome back to Full Throttle RC, everyone. I got the no prep car back together, completely fixed. Printed up another shock tower extension. This one's out of PETG, which is why it's purple. I replaced the axle, replaced that ball in, and we're ready to go now. You can see I actually have the DTS1 set up today. I remembered to bring everything to get some times. I'm in a different area of the parking lot today. A nice long stretch, no barriers to hit. I'm sure all of you got a good laugh at me trying to run in between those two curbs last time, but this is a lot better setup right here. I'm not gonna keep you waiting any longer because I'm really excited to see what this car is gonna do. So let's just get started. So I'm pretty confident after those first couple of passes. The car is definitely skating around a little on the top end, and I let out both times right before the finish line, but didn't crash the car yet, so that's an improvement. I don't know if you can see the times there, but that's a 274 at 42 miles an hour. Definitely not what I was expecting, but if you remember right, I kind of turned the ESC down a lot. I do have the laptop with me, so I'm thinking about going make some changes while the car cools off. Look at the data and see if I can maybe add some boost down there. I want to see this thing a little faster than this. All right, starting slow, I added 1 degree, I guess you could call it, of boost at about 29,000 RPM. I saw the car kind of plateauing at about 35,000 RPM. So I got it ramping from 29,000 to 40,000 RPM. And I also added a little bit of turbo, 1 or 2 degrees. I don't know if it should be called degrees in the Tekin app or what, but I added 1 to 2 degrees of turbo. And I'm just gonna start with that slowly. I wanna slowly ramp my way up. I don't wanna make no major changes. The car is running straight right now, so I don't wanna crash again. So let's start with that and we'll see what that gets us. All right, so that's some good progress. We picked up 5 miles an hour that quickly and also shed about 1/10 off of my ET. The car didn't get too wild, so I'm comfortable going add some more boost in. I'm gonna check the temperatures as well while I'm at it, but I don't think the car is running too hot. It is a little chilly outside today, so that's helping me, of course. But I'll be right back and we'll try again. So the ESC temps actually never got above 150 degrees. Which is really good. So I bumped up the turbo and the boost a little bit. I actually delayed the turbo by about 1/2 second. I didn't want the turbo coming in till after the transmitter does what it does and goes to full throttle. So the turbo is actually gonna come in at about the 1 second mark and ramp up till I cross the finish line. I'm actually gonna try something a little different and get you a shot at the finish line. I'm gonna point the camera back this way. I kinda wanna see what it's gonna look like. Hopefully I don't hit the camera though. Well, I didn't actually hit the camera, but I did send the car airborne. Hopefully the GoPro footage caught that, because the camera being down there definitely didn't catch the car flying in the air. Car sailed after it hit the finish line and probably flew about 4 or 5 feet in the air. It landed, I thought, on the roof of the car, but apparently it hit something else because I broke another shock tower extension. But don't worry, I came prepared today. I have the other set of shocks with me, the dual rate ones that I tried making. So I'm gonna throw them on there so I can keep running today, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so obviously changing the suspension setup in the middle of a test session like this isn't ideal, but I'm not done running for today. I still want to do some testing. So I threw on these dual rate shocks that I made. It does have the back end sitting a little higher. I might have to adjust the wheelie bar, but I want to see how the car is going to sit when it launches first. So I'm going to plug it up, make a couple test passes, and see what happens now. Alright, so we got a lot to unpack here. Just like I figured, making a suspension change that drastic in the middle of a testing session didn't go that well. I was having trouble keeping the car straight down track. It would launch perfectly fine, and actually almost a little better, I would say. It would launch straighter. I never felt like I had to pedal the car. But once it got about halfway down track, it would automatically start drifting to the right. Automatically, every time. I couldn't figure it out. I started messing with preload adjustments on the rear shocks. I looked into a bunch of different things. I couldn't figure it out. The car was always going right. I'm still not 100% sure what the problem was. I also had a tire come out of the bead a little bit, so I had to take some time and put that back in. I'm noticing the drive cups on the transmission are a little worn, so maybe that could be an issue as well. I'm gonna have to change that. Basically, I did a whole bunch of testing with the camera off, just trying to make the car go straight, not even trying to get a time on it at all. Finally, when I thought I had it going straight, I was running it without the body, and the car ended up catching air, flipping, and I broke the wheelie bar mount. Once again, this is what happens when you use 3D printed parts in RC, especially an RC car as powerful as a drag car. It's not hard to reprint one. It's a really quick and easy print. I think it's about 2.5 hours, so I'll print another one as soon as I get home, but I don't have one with me today, so that kind of limits my running for today. Overall, I know those times weren't that impressive. 2:06.7 I think is the best I had, which isn't fast at all. It didn't even clock 50 miles an hour, which also isn't the best at all. This 132 foot is kind of a learning experience for me now, because I'm so used to running the 66 feet where I run closer to my house. The car may need to be re-geared for 132 feet, I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe I just need to do some more ESC tuning to get it to those 50 and 60 mile an hour speeds. I have a few goals in mind for times and speeds, but we'll work towards them slowly. I am liking this area. This area is pretty nice. I got this nice straight patch here. Didn't have no trouble with any traffic coming through or no curbs hit or anything. It was mostly just flying the car through the air that broke it today. Before I come out again, I will make another shock tower extension, because I do want to go back to those other shocks for now. Someone mentioned in the last video making one out of carbon, and that might be an option. That may take me some time to make one out of carbon, because I'll basically end up having to make a 2 or 3 piece extension out of these 3mm plates that I have, and gluing them or screwing them together. So that may take a little while, but that might be a good option so I don't end up breaking anymore. Like I said, I know those times were underwhelming. Definitely not what I was looking for, and I know you were probably looking for something faster than that too. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think I should do to get the car to go faster. I have a couple ideas in mind, but I'm always open to what y'all have to say as well. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. We finally have it. We finally have a section of 132 feet that we can run, so I can continuously test the car here. And maybe one day we can start holding some events and having some races out here. I can't wait till I can do that. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Click on that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. And as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.